Hello everyone. In this video I am going to discuss on two topics. One is interval and another one is different terms in set. So interval, what is this interval? We have two types of interval. One is open interval, one is closed interval, and we have mix of these two also. So if x belongs to first bracket, this sign is known as belongs to, this sign. So if x belongs to, in first bracket, a comma b, that means x is in open interval. That means x is in open interval, which means x can take any value in between a and b, but excluding a and b. X can take any value in between a and b, but excluding a and b. If I want to represent this a number line, if this is your a and this is your b, so open interval means this region. X can take any value in between a and b, but excluding a and b. Now closed interval. Closed interval is x belongs to third bracket a comma b. Third bracket a comma b, which means x is in closed interval, which means x can take any value in between a and b, including a and b. Including a and b. So if I want to represent this is number line, so if this is a, this is b, that time this full region. So you understood, with open interval, if I will add the element a and b, I will get the closed interval, right? So now if we have this type of thing, don't think that this is wrong. This representation will be x can take b, but x cannot include a. So it will be represented by this. If I have to represent this portion, this representation will be this one. It can include a but not b. If I ask you to represent this, what is second bracket a comma b? That means set, right? So second bracket a comma b, that means set. It is only represented by this is a, this is b. Please be very careful. In set we can have more than two elements, or it can have one element also, but interval we have to represent by only two elements, like the terminal two elements. That's all in interval. We have to use this concept of interval in many times. Next one, some different terms in set, that is subset. What is subset? So suppose x belongs to a for all. This is known as for all, this symbol, for all. For all x belongs to a, it implies that x belongs to b. Whatever elements we have in a, if all the elements is a part of b also, then we can say that a is a subset of b. Under subset we have one more thing, this is proper subset. Suppose x belongs to a implies, for all x belongs to a, that implies x belongs to b. But y belongs to b, there is one element in b, that is y. The elements of the set will be written in small and the name of the set will be written in capital. So if, but y belongs to b implies y doesn't belongs to a. That means in set b, if there is one extra element which is not part of a, that time your a set is a subset of b. So if I just discuss with one example, if we have to write all the subset of 1, 2, 3. The subsets will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, and the set himself also 1, 2, 3. One more subset we have for all the sets, that is 5. So these are the subsets. Why phi is a subset, I am going to discuss right now. So if I will write all the subsets in one set, all the subsets if it is represented in one set, that set is known as power set. All the subsets of one set to be written is known as power set. Now check one thing. How many elements we have in this set? 3 elements. And check how many subsets we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if n is the cardinal number of set, n is the cardinal number of set, then number of subsets we will get, that is 2 to the power n. Number of proper subset, so how many proper subset I will get? Except this, all will be proper subset. So that will be 2 to the power n, then minus 1. Let's subtract this one. I said something that phi is a subset of any set A. How can I say that? Suppose to prove this, I will use the concept of method of contradiction. I will imagine that phi is not a subset of A. That means there is one element in phi which is not there in A. X belongs to phi implies X not belongs to A. Then only I can say this is not a subset. Otherwise phi will be a subset. But that contradicts the definition of phi, because I know that phi doesn't contain any element. So it contradicts our statement. Hence we can say that phi is a subset of any set A. Right? Now universal set. Every set is a part of one mother set. Like if I say class 11 students of any school, class 11 students of any school, they are also part of all the students of the school. They are also part of all the students of India. So we can choose our universal set, and based on universal set, suppose this is your set A, we can find complement of set will be written like this, a to the power c or a dash. If my set is class 11 students of any school, and by universal set, the first universal set if I am taking, this is known as epsilon, this is epsilon 1, this is epsilon 2. So what will be A complement when this is my universal set? So that time my A complement will be all students of the school except class 11. This is my A complement when it is epsilon 1 minus A. But if this is epsilon 2 minus A, then it will be all students of all the school except class 11 of that particular school. So second case, we can take class 11 students of the other school but not that school, right? So this is known as complement. Now union and intersection. This is known as union, this is known as intersection. What is this? Suppose A set is 1, 2 and B set is 2, 3, 4. So A union B means A or B, which implies all the elements of A and B. And it's a distinct object, I am not going to repeat. And A intersection B means A and B, which includes only the common element. Is it fine? Next one is difference of set. Difference of set A minus B means those elements of A which are not part of B. So from here, this example, A minus B will be equals to 1. And B minus A will be equals to 3, 4, because 3, 4 is not part of A. Thank you for right now.